Yo, what's going on? What's going on? It's Real Hall of Fame D-Line, TBKC, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Um, it was asked, I had posted this. A lot of people thought, I probably posted a puppy a couple months ago, that it was a newer picture, but it was a puppy from about 10 years ago. And I had posted a puppy, and they thought it was a he, but it was actually a she. She had different color eyes, and I think that's called like heterochromia. Um, Now, heterochromia, or let's just say two different colored eyes, because I'll mispronounce everything. It's actually it is genetic, and the interesting thing about it is that both parents carry the gene for it. That's the only way that it's supposed to happen. Now, in certain breeds, like I think it's the Australian Shepherd and a couple other breeds, it's actually allowed. In this breed, speaking on the American Bully or the Pitbull or the Rottweiler or, any of those breeds, it is actually not allowed. It is actually supposed to be a disqualification. I know with the Rottweiler in particular, the dogs can't have blue eyes at all. With the American Bully, the dogs are not supposed to have blue eyes, especially that crystal blue eye. And with the, we'll stick to the American Bully, but one of the things with the American Bully is that, well, it was initially, put into the standard, but it does indicate a couple of different things, First of all, it's a lack of pigmentation, which when you start getting into the lack of pigmentation in the eyes, there are other things that follow with that. And, that was one of the reasons that we wanted to avoid that gene. Once that gene is compounded, it starts with the lack of pigmentation, that shows up in the eyes, but it can show up other places, considering that the dogs are oftentimes disqualified for being all white or having other pigmentation issues. That's one of the main reasons why it's a disqualification. Now, in terms of health, it really, I've never heard, and maybe you need to look at this thing or whatever, but I've never heard it become considered a health issue outside of in dogs that are Merles. And the reason why, it's a health issue in dogs that are Merles, it's not the actual eyes are a health issue. What happens is that in some Merle dogs, when you see those eyes light up with the blue eyes like that, they're like more, I call them crystal blue eyes or whatever. You're starting to push the line of the pigmentation issues, and what's going on with the behind the scenes with the issues with the Merles. My experience with the Alapahas is when the dog's eyes would start to turn that way, you were getting closer and closer to pushing the line that the dog would either go all white. Sometimes that's what happened. You would have the blue eyes with the all white dogs, or you would have very, very small amounts of pigmentation and you would get those blue eyes. And in the Alapahas, when that happened, what would generally happen is this is the point where you would start to notice dogs going blind. You'd have some deafness, possible seizures, and other issues. So it was basically you're pushing the line too far, and that was an indicator of it. Like I say, also an indicator of it was the dogs going more white. Well, the reason why we're talking about this on here is we're seeing more and more bullies with this feature, of course, because the Alapaha and some other dogs have been added that excuse me. Shit made me choke, but have made it more prevalent. Now, I do not say that it started with just the Alapahas, because you can have this happen in all breeds. But with the, of course, influx of Merle, all of a sudden we know that Alapahas have been added a lot into this breed. And there are issues that are going to come with it. You know what I mean? If I was warning you, I would tell you to stay away from the dogs that have those, especially that, like I say, crystal blue type of eye. Sometimes it's one eye, sometimes it's both. That is an indicator that you might want to stay away from. As far as a pet goes, if you wanted to use it as a pet, it's probably a good chance that if it's got good color and pigmentation outside of the eyes, that the dog is probably pushing closer towards good health instead of bad health. But I do strongly recommend that everybody, use that as a precaution. I know it's a lot like the Merle gene, where it's very pretty, but there are some, it is some indicators that the genetics are starting to screw up a little bit, and you should be careful with it. Once again, if y'all hear my kids screaming, they're probably having WrestleMania somewhere. But, just use it as an indicator. Like I say, it is not permittable in the ring, but it does not mean that your dog is going to fall over dead also. Each individual case is totally different. But, definitely use it as a red flag as far as your programs go, that you might not want to add this gene into your dogs, because it can become a disqualification of a whole litter if you keep on doing it. Until next time, much love, y'all. Peace.